obviously taken them up against some of the biggest squads in the region. So for them to sort of see the results coming in against them, even though they're not as fantastic, against Mythic, I feel like it could still be a fun time. They're on the T side start as Mythic get to the pistol round, and Lethal shut down Pollen, immediately taking out the frag counts. Now dropping in towards the A side, the T side, forcing their way forward, and Flom's going to get 2 picks to return. Mythic straight up out of the defensive. They will concede the bomb plant, but it's a 4v3 retake.
And they can slow it right down. They've got the man advantage, and Chaos are all just sandwiched into the site itself. They haven't been able to take any map control away from the CT side. Now, Mythic don't have any utility or a kit, Jay. It's just armor for the CTs.
And on the block, Donji takes down 1 frag, sees 2 more, gets traded back by a trend. Zeppa on site. Raft's going to give away his position. Zeppa comes up with a good kill. Davey turns back around, but Zeppa on site, your man to highlight, gets that first round on the board for Chaos. A nice double on the T side defense. May have been a bit premature with his early shots, but does manage to come up good.
Oh, it's come out, Jay. Now, we saw in Pro League Vanity going for the PP Bisons and the P90s, and it's out, Jay. Like, we're not even a few rounds deep into the game. We're into round 2, Jay, and the PP Bison's already out.
You love this weapon.
I love it.
I'm not sure if it's a love-hate thing or whether you genuinely actually like have an affinity to this gun. I don't like it at all. But hey, it could work for Vanity. I mean, it's playing out towards the passive positions for the moment. Chaos are not going to spare any expense. They're going to have rifles in on most of the players, coming out the AKs and Galils on the other individuals. And the force back from Mythic, we'll see the swag 7 on Flom.
A bit of a gamble stack out towards that B bomb site from Mythic, just bringing 3 players early, not aggressing too far down through Banana, quite deep into the sites, and for Chaos, with just a simple long smoke, are able to take some really easy brackets control, all grouping up together. And for Mythic, you've got to think that if this site execution continues into the A bomb site, the B players might just have to save if they don't come quick enough.
Shots from Dave V, lands a leg shot on John G, at least taps up on the second player, can't quite find those frags. Adrenaline is able to follow suit, take 1 down, but Zeppa turns it around with a good AK kill. That buys him providing covering fire, but Adren will drop Vanity to a 4-on-3 scenario. Zeppa's on fire, points to Deagle, still out to the backlines, Adren pops forward, gets himself a tidy double for a quadra overall. On for the aces. Now the scout gets recovered by Pollen, and it looks like Mythic are going to pick one back to the Chaos side.
Oh, Dren stepping up, but they still need to deal with 1 more player on this team's side. It's Leaf, and in the end, it's Poland to get the final bullet. The first on the board for the Mythic side, and Adren stepping up massively out from long. And for Chaos, they just kept dual peeking out, swinging out from that long position, and Adren just came up absolutely massive.
Indeed he did. 4 kills. Massive with the Deagle in respect to that long defensive. Mythic able to pick one back against the Chaos side. Again, go 1-to-1 at this stage in the early game. Rifles recovered, of course. Only 2 Galils, unfortunately. Couldn't grab that AK that they had. Meanwhile, the pistols coming out for the Chaos camp. We'll just see the Tech 9s and the Deagles. Nades on against Wrath's point of things. 71 HP. He tanks it out towards the banana control. It's very passive from Chaos, though, recognizing they are on a back foot.
Mythic bringing Adren over to this B bomb site, and for Chaos, for the majority of rounds we've seen from them so far, Jay, it hasn't sort of been like widespread defaults. They've been playing together as a unit, all close quarters between one another, and taking that top banana control. 4 players are here, and you've got to think as soon as this little bit of utility can come down, the incendiary to follow from Flom.
Flashbangs blinding off both players. Okay, John G does get Flom at the first box, and Leaf follows suit on towards the Dren. They burst into the B site. On plant will be secured. 2 players standing as Leaf gets another frag. Davey will trade it. Zeppa comes up and turns that head through. And 1 player left in KT will take a face, but goes down to John G in the end. 2-to-1. Chaos are going to frag right back.
Now, Jay, is this the kind of game we're going to expect? An absolute scrap fest. We've been going back and forward with the force buys, and for Mythic, you would expect a force buy on their account unless they want to try and, yeah, they're going to go for the force. We see Deagles coming up. Should see a couple of MP9s across the board. And Chaos, though, you've got to think, especially those Mac 10s, Jay, would able to do a lot of damage because there's only 2 players with head Kevlar on the CT side.
Nades up a standard Vanity. Molotov into the sandbags position. Adren with that opening kill will be traded back by Ras. So not going to be allowed so much control out here for the T side. At least they keep things at an even standing. And overall, they take a HP advantage above Flom and Pollen. 4 players. The Chaos Camel wrapping against the 2 of the B side defensive. Got Flom and Pollen just sitting back with that shotgun SMG. It's that pretty for the moment. Waiting for the execute to come through.
And not a great amount of utility up for Chaos. We've got a couple of smokes and a couple of mollies, maybe out towards New Box and maybe Dark. Re-smoke coming in from Pollen, and all this utility is pretty much going to get wasted because they can't push through this smoke.
Wrath will get Pollen, however, blind at the edge of the smoke. It wasn't registered as a smoke kill. I don't know why. 2 more players making their way in as Davey actually holds the mid control. He'll hear these players as they rotate back to the A site with further utility that they can put down here. Smokes up, flashes in, catch a couple players blind at this stage. Nothing more Davey inland though. They're going to go back. Yeah, Davey's going to get this information. He's going to be ready for it. Takes down at least 1 player, but Wrath will deal the trade. So they can get access to the A site. Look at how quickly KT's in rotation. She's got the Deagle left here on the site. Just ducking below the boxes, ready to receive anything in. Shots on, don't connect. Leaf takes the kill. And Flom standing in a 1-on-3 with lack of HP and lack of utility. It may be best to save the head Kevlar, and yeah, he's out of there.
Yeah, look, unfortunately for Mythic, Davey needed to find more than 1 kill there. He needed to get at least 2, Jay. Yeah, you're right. The rotations came in really quickly. They had all of the information in the world, but Davey needed to be able to hold a bit more of a contest to allow them the retake into that A bomb site. And Flom and Katie just not making it possible. And Chaos going to end the streak of back and forward rounds now, Jay, with the 3rd on the board. You've got to think for Mythic, they can save this Swag 7 into the next round, but there won't be really many upgrades to surround it. It's just going to be a simple thing, though.
Not much money left in the tank here for the Mythic camp. A good return on the 2nd, but since then it's still been all the Chaos camp. Should be seeing the rifles brought down by Vanity and Zeppa. Indeed, Zeppa gets that AK out. Vanity can't afford the AWP just yet, so we just have to concede this with the regular rifle. Still that M4 and Wrath. I'm actually going with the Mac 10 in this one. A smart choice, actually. Recognizing that there's probably going to be an eco for Mythic, so cashing in while he can. He can face it to a stack, that'd be fantastic. And there are 4 players all leaning towards the B site. I'm not going to stack in towards the Banana, so it won't be so easy for that Mac 10 to get the frag. Instead he faces in against Davey, the only player here towards A, charging straight into the long and wrapping around through Speedway. Actually, this could be a lot more damage potential for the Mythic side. Pollen backed up at the fountain. Get clean, up spray through from Vanity, comes up with that kill made onto the player in the back. Does not quite take down Casey, but does get Adren. She's going to look for Flom back here. Katie actually will get the frag back. So 3-on-3 situation, but they have conceded the B side.
Still good damage, and for Mythic, they can save onto the AK, and you've got to think Katie and Davey look for exit kills. You might as well at least try and see if you could do any more damage. Chaos, though. Bomb plan at the B bomb site. Mythic don't really have a way in. Flom's just saving onto that AK, does not want anything to do with it. And Davey might be able to find 1 exit. You've got to think for Chaos J, this is very different, I want to say, than how we saw them play in Pro League. It seems like going in against Mythic, they've had this sort of game plan of let's just play sheer out aggression. It has been very, very fast, especially when they take brackets control. It's almost like they're doing it instantly.
Flom gets away with an AK, so that's a pretty decent eco, all things considered. 16 HP, just barely staying alive, with the head Kevlar saved in for the next couple of rounds, so there is a little bit to work with. The rifle's coming out, Davey can afford the AWP, but it will be glass cannon, he opts against it instead. AKs, Galils, M4s, still out for the Chaos side. Quite a decent setup, all things considered, with the amount of money they've got here. They've still got to build up to a full-buy scenario. Zeppa on 1,300. Still got to be a little bit careful against this, but they still do have a better setup than Mythic. Only 1 kit in play and very limited utility sets.
You even look at Leaf, just the way that he's aggressing into the apartment so quickly. They're playing with so much confidence. This is going to be an abs pop to come out from the side. Davey not blind at all. Oh, only finds 1 kill. But the trades are now coming out from Zeppa, and they've pretty much completely opened up this A-bomb site now.
Doesn't even need an AK. The Galil's good for a double kill. 4 versus 3. The plant can be secured here by Vanity next. Into the back wall, he will go now to set up with his teammates. And these 3 players coming in very quick towards the short control. Rubber's left complete mid control away from them actually, so they don't even have eyes on the rotations coming in. Getting in towards the long position at Motos where Poland was. Flom goes falling, Adren and Poland out. Left here, spray through, can't catch that player at the small gap. 4-2 scenario. Making this look relatively slow and simple. They just can't get the first in. They're going to get forced back eventually without the kit in play. Mid, Adren getting caught off by Vanity. Good challenge, but 21 HP stays alive, and that's 5 to Chaos.
I'll tell you what, I'm really liking the confidence out from Chaos. The one thing that scares me just a little bit, Jay, just a tad, is that it might lead to a little bit of too overconfidence, because we saw from Leaf, you know, they mollied out that boiler position, but no flashes, you know, rather than slow peeking in and jiggle peeking angles in the apartments, they're just running through. They're really playing a very aggressive style of play on this T side. And you've got to think for Mythic, if there's just a couple of players that maybe get aggressive out from boiler or trying to get aggressive at least through brackets or apartments, they could get shut down for their aggression.
Smokes in, nades up as standard. Vanity and Wrath taking quite a lot of damage actually by that nade stack, so it's quite a good start for Mythic. Sat back at the moment. Being very careful about this for Chaos. They did try and aggress, but they did get shut down pretty early on. No kills happening just yet for the Mythic side, but they have set up 2 very good opportunities here.
Nice early damage. Is going to make things a little bit easier, especially with those pistols going for body shots. Well, one of the slowest rounds we've seen from Chaos yet. And you see Leaf just waiting for any kind of overextension from the apartments while the rest of them are all stacking up through Banana. Maybe just going for another one of these simple executions, Jay.
Less than a minute to the clock. Towards this B site. Good face in from Zephyr. Catches that first kill on Davey. Opening up the frag counts as now the CT start to back up a little bit. Rotations are inbound from the T side though. Chaos moving up. Vanity and Zephyr. Zephyr on 1 point of health though, so be careful about how you're facing the next one. Molotov's coming through. KT gonna completely evade them, but Leaf jumps right over ahead and gets taken down. Drake will find a trade back to the mid more on the site though. It's much low HP. Vanity can just run spray around the corner, get that kill, and get the bomb plant in a 4-on-2 scenario that shouldn't be winnable for Mythic. Awkward retakes coming in, so the best that they can do is probably save the Kevlar and the M4.
Just, what do you even do in that situation? Like, Katie's in a pretty good position to be able to deal with the apps pop and just gets so blind. Just can't see absolutely anything. Chaos. I like that fake over towards B. They put a lot of utility there. It was only 2 players at that B bomb site trying to sell as much of a fake as possible. Now, Mythic did a good job, Jay, of not over-rotating and leaving that A bomb site pretty much completely undefended. So they were quite cautious about over-rotating. But 6-1, and Chaos just really coming into their own on the T side.
And this is the one thing I was scared the most about here, Dwayne, you know, talking a little bit about how they're sort of like standing on crutches, losing some crucial elements of their roster on the Chaos side. But, you know, in theory, you know, and on paper, this is a core that still has been able to beat up Mythic time and time again.
Yeah.
Here on this map, it is still going similar sort of fashion. Very one-sided start here for the T side. And for Mythic, it might be a bit of an awkward time ahead of them. The odds definitely aren't favouring them. And, you know, again, you know, under normal circumstances in the pre-game, I would have given them the benefit of the doubt here, but now to the buy round, and again, they've lost that opening kill. Not a single point of damage done to the players on Banana.
And you saw a double AWP setup coming out for Mythic for the first time in this game. Both Vlom and Adren trying to pick him up, and Vlom just getting instantly deleted out from the top of Banana, and now that's that secondary AWP gone. Didn't even find a contact peak.
Pollen smoking down, flashing over Davey, getting the backline with him, and John G just drops the kill immediately. Davey burning, does see one. They haven't actually checked the backline, I think it's completely clear, but he only gets that one frag in, couldn't land the headshots on the players at Old Grill, so a 1v4, Katie's got to save. Back in the apartments, just waiting, just holding onto that M4. The 7th to the board of the Chaos side. As again, these B entries start to look good. This T side is looking real fantastic for them.
They had 4 on BJ. Like, Katie was the only A player, and Mythics just rolled over completely. And we see Flom trying to go for a very aggressive car peek, gets just taken out immediately. And from there, Adren's posted out towards the CT angle with that AWP. He gets taken out. It's a 5-on-3, and from there, it's just the number game in the way of Chaos. They trade out evenly. And trying to go hunting onto Katie, that would be a lot of damage in terms of the economy if they could take her away. She's been seen, is staying alive, and should be able to hold onto the rifle now.
Exit frag on Zephyr. Oh, nice coming out, and that's a secondary kill. Okay, some damage being done to the T side. Might start to wear down the economy game, but do Mythic think they can justify a force buy? They'll be up against the full set of rifles because the money has been built up pretty well for the Chaos camp. Also, I love this, by the way. Wrath is still sitting with the M4. Hasn't died for, like, many, many rounds so far. No AKs required. Not the top fragger, but he's still pretty damn close with the M4. And now Mythic are finally going to get forced to take a tactical. I like this. I appreciate this, you know. Like, you know, there were some questions for me about whether or not Mythic were coming into this playing this seriously based on the fact that they can't stream. But here right now, the fact they're taking the tactical indicates that they probably are.
And you got to remember as well, Mythic were one of the only 2 teams to get a replacement invite. The other one was Imperial Esports. We didn't see Mythic in the closed qualifier. I think they may have been in the open qualifiers. They certainly at least didn't make top 8 in either of those 2. So really, for Mythic, like this is a big opportunity for them to kind of prove that you know, they're a bit more than a stream team. They can actually put some decent results on the board, and we're waiting to see a little bit of a change up. Jay, I'd like to see something really aggressive coming out from Mythic. Maybe trying to go down mid, try something a little bit unorthodox, and find aggression with aggression. And it looks like it's coming out towards Banana.
Ah, but Davey shut down by early utility sprays around the corner, and Zephy's going to get Flom next to follow suit.
Wow.
Pollen goes down as well, and that is decimation from Chaos. 2 standing, and they aren't even going to rotate. Katie and Adren are held into the boiler position, boosted on top of each other, and just sitting and waiting to let the round tick by, because Chaos, in a matter of moments, just won it right there.
And that round right there, like, if you're a player for Mythic, you're thinking, right, yeah, no, we're done now. Like, you had 3 players of B trying to get aggressive to take some banana control, and you hardly just do any damage. That is just a steamroll from Chaos. And this is frightening, because this is Mythic's map pick, Jay. Yeah.
And I think the awkward part about it is that unless they get these exit frags, which at least Katie does take Rough down, then the damage they did in that last round is going to be pretty much negated. Actually, they do get a couple of good picks in, so Leaf might have some troubles. That's a good victory.
Wow.
4 kills found. Okay, that was a bit reckless from Chaos. I sort of understand why they're doing this, because it's got money, but considering the investment from Zephyr and Leaf that will come through, you'll see that start to go down slowly, and it's only a matter of time before Mythic can potentially capitalize on that, you know, shut down the economy state, force some buybacks and Vanity and Wrath, and potentially take the rest of the half.
Yeah, look, there is that potential. At the same time, though, you've got to think that with Mythic, if everyone goes down, they probably don't force here. It's only that both players staying alive can drop weapons that really helps that force buy to come through. For Chaos, I think the last thing on their mind is their own economy, Jay. They're just looking to steamroll these rounds as quickly as possible. It's going to be another quick play in towards brackets. Adren at least trying to put down some anti-rush nades. But look how quickly they get into apartments, time in, time out.
I mean, Chaos is so set to these defaults so early on, any aggression from the CTs will get shut down, but for now, they're ready for their own execute. Smoke's up, I believe that was a CT smoke, a flash in. A secondary smoke down onto the balcony position, so Chaos have that setup going for them, just leaning into the mid control. I mean, they're looking for picks right now. The bomb isn't even left the T-spawn.
And they've got a lot of map control. I mean, even though they're not towards the top of Banana, nade stuck out towards Pit, and Davy's dealt with. This is just too easy coming out for Chaos. And for Davy, there's not really much you can do there, because no matter where you are, if you're in Pit, you're going to die to those nades. And now for Chaos, they've got one smoke, but you know what, Jay? I think they could dry run their way into the B bomb site and still win these duels.
I see if Flom and Pollen can put up any decent frag potential. They're backed up. Incendiary set from Flom first. It's enough for him at the worst moment, but Flom's got him protected. 2 kills. He does turn that situation around. 12 HP. Maybe the dry one was on his cross. The door here away. Lineups for Pollen not going to go well. Flom still held to the back lines. Adren rotates in with the AK to a 3-on-2. An Incendiary for 20 seconds of time as one more player drops and Wrath is left alone in a 1-on-3. Still to pick up the bomb, still to enter in towards the B side. Does take down Katie at least. Damage done to Adren. 10 seconds though. Bomb picked up. If he gets the bomb, a little bit too late. He gets that kill, but no time for the plant, and Adren knows it. He's going to hunt after time, but Wrath should escape alive.
Yeah, should get away with it. And I tell you what, that Incendiary just wrecks them completely, because they put so much utility into that A bomb site. They're going to be, they only had a single smoke. Now, that would have been fine if there weren't any Incendiaries on that CT side, but as soon as they put that smoke down towards CT and the Incendiary comes through, then they have to run through the flames, because the rotations are just going to come through. Flom and Pollen set up a really nice crossfire from the boost and to the back of second oranges. And Mythic claimed their second round on the board. That was a big tester there for Chaos.
Not quite as confident as you initially implied. Again, no dry runs will work for this Chaos camp. They need to get more competent into these hits. John G with that first pick will definitely start to look good here. Early on against Katie, and Davey turns around for that second kill. M4 picked up to take the fight against the Dren. Not the best of ideas. AWP will trade it back. But meanwhile, the T's leaning in towards Banana have established their map control. They're thinking of a rotation of Dren over towards that long control. They pop out apartments, go through short right now. They can get a plant in over on the A site. But a minute to go to make the hit happen. Look how far he's pushed up. Leafs held towards the corner. He does get traded by Flom. For a minute there, he could have caught him off guard, and now Adren strikes, drops that bomb, re-peeks in for a second player. Does let him cross back towards the A-site entry, though. The plant will be secured. It'll be a 3v2 retake.
Good setup coming out for Mythic. They've got a lot of utility. 2 Incendiaries. They need to go down to do some damage. The nade onto Wrath is down to 40 points of health. The Dren's so close to landing that AWP shot, but the re-smoke out from Moto is going to buy them time.
I'm just going to try wrap around as well towards the short control. No one's watching it. Zeppa is now, and Wrath in such an awkward position on this A site. If he even gets a kill, he would have done enough at this stage. And he transfers his spray to 2, looking for the third. Waller making his way up, does deal with Wrath, but now Zeppa, a known entity, playing back in the apartment. Smoke down coming in from Pollen now to stick the full 5 seconds. He's got the hit. Zeppa jumping through all one place. Can't land the damage. Oh, he's so close. Next to the fuse, get away. One smoke's all they need as Mythic get their third.
Oh my goodness, alrighty then. Well, Pollen realizes in that 1 versus 1, I know where Zeppa is out through the apartments. Oh, my best chance is probably just smoke off the bomb. Let's just go for the defuse. Unfortunately for Mythic though, Jay, look at the buy that's going to follow. Because it came down into a 1-on-1, 4 players dying, it means that, yeah, they've got two big rifles of the AK, the M4, backed up with the FAMAS, but there's still a shotgun and an MP9 to work with. Their money is in so much trouble.
Damage coming in on Chaos where they're not the same though. Shotty out, Davey gets shut down. There's still potential here for the Mythic side if they can take these frags. So far getting away off on the wrong foot again. That kill in towards the apartments gets Davey to fall, and the T side continue pressing on their defaults as standard.
And this time around for Chaos, after finding that man advantage, they really start to slow things down, Jay. And taking a lot of control out towards brackets, in through the apartments. This could be another A play. Now, Mythic are actually going to gamble stack up this A bomb site, leaving Pollen alone over a B. They're rotating Flom in through CT, but he's playing quite deep, Jay, so it's going to be difficult for him to assist his teammates in the site itself.
Smokes on towards the archway and actually library, not Moto. CTs will smoke that position instead. And Flom waiting with the SMG, hearing nothing. Little does he know the T-side players have crept past him. So Dren, KT on site. Molotov's coming in the front man of position. And actually, they're getting themselves 2 picks, but Jonji and Vanity clean up the main side defenders as the players on rotate from B and Long are left in a 3v2 retake. And it's not even that worse situation here. 2 players are extremely low. They grab an AK for it. Flom takes a bit of damage, but still workable for Mythic.
It certainly is. The thing is, though, do they want to go for it, Jay? Because the option of saving is looking pretty nice because there is no money, like I said, in a lot of trouble, and they're very slow on this retake. I don't think they're going to go for it, Jay. They're taking too much time here. They've got to save.
Yeah, not opting for it in the end. If they had executed very quickly out of there, then they probably could have gotten the round together. They probably could have had a deep stab at the retake, but no, not to be. And 9th for Chaos. As you mentioned, the economy was in trouble there for Mythic. It would have been even worse off given the situation here. But of course, those AKs will stay in so they get something out here. I imagine Mythic should be on for a force buy. They can save in the next round, get the rifles out for round 15 if they want to do so.
Yeah, look, it's a tough call to make because you're getting quite close to the end of the first half, and it looks like they just want to eco and try and get a really strong buy to follow into round 14. Now, Mythic, though, I haven't seen too many chances for them to convert some rounds. I mean, opening kills has certainly been a bit of a struggle. It seems like Chaos, for the majority of this first half, Jay, they've always been able to get that 5-on-4 in their advantage. Everyone's rotating B?
Yeah, a lot of noise being made there by the T side. I was about to make note of it. Execution could be coming through from the Chaos camp, but they've got a lot of work to do to try and hold off against them. Pond's going to get flashed off here towards the first box. I believe a flashbang in, sees those players crossing out towards CT. Does damage, no kills. Raph and Leaf come up with those frags. Davey trades, but Jonji trades right back. And Pollen's waiting for backup. Vanity checks him. And a 1 versus 3 now for a Deagle on KT. It's not going to happen. Still might just throw herself at the site, see what she can do here without the Kevlar, though. Without utility, it's probably not going to be very successful. So, exit frags the best case. And Chaos continue to stack up the rounds here.
Oh, you've got to think for Chaos too. I mean, they're probably in contention of trying to see if they can at least get a spot in the top 5 of the RMR. They're currently ranked 8th. They're not that far behind some of the top dogs. They're 5th in NA when it comes to the road to, for the Pro Tour points for Katowice. So there's a lot for Chaos to play for here, Jay, to really start to climb up and have a really decent result going into IEM New York. I mean, you've got to think that if they can bring this confidence forward, have a pretty simple series over Mythic going forward is going to help their campaign. Already 10-3 up in the first half in their opposition's map pick. You can't really fault Chaos too much at all in this matchup, Jay.
No, it's been playing pretty well. I mean, they haven't needed to do anything fancy and everything. You know, they've been running pretty standard sort of default. They're just winning out those fights to turn the man advantage. So when the basic executions come through, they can still win those because they've got a 5v4 or a 5v3 or a 4v3. Look at this very early hit. Again, just going to speed run it into the A site. Taking out a Dren for the opener. Davey back up at Graveyard. Needs to hold off something. Okay, you're going to try break into the back lines of the site. Dealt by Leaf spray from Davey. Does so much damage to Vanity, but doesn't end up with the kills. 2 standing, and you can already see Flom's rotating the save.
Yeah, no, they're out of there. 2 on 5. It's not even worth it. Let's see if you can at least hold on. I mean, the T's are going to go hunting, you would expect. And Chaos. You're right. It's been pretty simple Counter-Strike. It hasn't been, you know, overthinking things. That we haven't really seen a lot of fakes from them to bait out rotations. It's been very aggressive and it's been very on the ball. And those entries to the A bomb side just came in so damn quickly from Zephyr and Leaf. The way that they just charged down the AWP of a Dren to start that round off too.
Couple of exits for the Mythic side, but the money's still pretty good here for the T's. Chaos can rebuy on the 5 players, they all went down. 2 stay in, going into round 15. Economy damage will only be so much. rebuys coming up. The GG bet odds are getting worse and worse as well for Mythic. They were at 7 at the start, 10 between, was it the 7th, 8th round?
Halfway.
Now up to 11. We're just, it's not looking good for Mythic. And one final force fight to try to see if they can close that with at least a 4th. If they can do that, it will still be workable on T-side. To their credit, you know, T-side is where they're both these teams can get the majority of their rounds. Already, you can see how the T-side are taking the advantage and taking the nades up, tanking it to the face, putting some own damage of their own right, and Flom and Pollen. One goes down, the AWP faces, does get Raft to fall, so 4-on-4 situation, the retake is coming in.
My goodness, the rotations are so damn slow, Jay, coming out from the A bomb site. It's not only until once the bomb's planted is when the A players start to move in. And for Chaos, they've still got a little bit of utility to work with on this post plant. But for Mythic, they need to get their way in, and the smokes are still down.
Heads up, Jonji getting pushed up the Alpha. One sprays food, takes him down. Adren can't find the trade, so they have info on that one player. But Davey making his way in, needs to find an entry to the backlines, does not see any of the T-side players. Not towards Old Grill. Vanity's there for the base, and the kills up against one. And Vanity doubles up. 12-3 at the turn of the half for Chaos. As we go to a break, it's a hard graph for Mythic to come back. Don't go anywhere.
The motions, the super slow motion. It's time to lose your inhibition, developing a blind ambition. Fire it up, ignite it. I don't wanna fight it no more. I wanna see where this can go. I'm done with playing around, not knowing. Yeah, we've nothing to lose. We're lost at the night. We're feeling alright. Just let it go. Gonna do it like this, gonna do it like that. Everybody's on that, gonna do it like this. Yeah, we never know. Got the bodies on tap, put the body on it, getting cloudy on it. Got me on the right track, yeah, you got me on it. Gonna do it like this, cause that's the way we want it. Gonna do it like this, gonna do it like that. Gonna do it like this, yeah, we never look. You and I, we've been friends for a long time now. Always have a good time whenever we go out. But you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me junk and you wanna talk, but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why. Feeling lost like I just want a time back time. I'm choked up, tell me how do I say this right? Cause you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me drunk and you wanna talk, but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I've tried. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I've tried, but I can't say why.
A very difficult task ahead of the Mythic T side. At least they have what is statistically their favored half. How much statistics will matter at this stage, though, that's yet to be seen. They have got to make this comeback happen, Dwayne. It is going to have to be completely flawless from here. As we set to the pistol round, Chaos will lose the opening kill down towards that mid-challenge. The majority of players stacked up, but Donji comes in, swings out with a frag. Zephyr will fall, but his forward player of the CT side can still do some damage.
And it looked like for Mythic, they were trying to take quick brackets control to fake that they were hitting A really quickly. That's why they left some players in towards T spawn to bait in the rotations, but they've done very well in terms of the trading ability. It's a 4-on-2 advantage, and for Mythic, this A bomb side is got a couple of players around. I don't know if they have this information, however.
Jonji in with the P2K, takes that face, gets that kill towards one player now, looking back to the back lines. Bomb making its way up for the apartments. If Flom falls, a lot of the setup here for the T-side could get shut down, but Roth goes down, so it's all left to Jonji to ace clutch this, tapping his way through, looking for the headshot, turns towards the left-hand side, but Flom wraps in from the back, takes that kill, and takes the round for Mythic. An all-important pistol goes their favor.
Look, it's vital for Mythic's survival, Jay, if they want to continue a bit of a comeback going into the second half. We saw some really great trades, a lot of raw duels coming out, especially out from mid, just wide swinging together as a unit. Chaos, though, you've got to expect their force buy coming back into round 17, though. Mythic, have a look at the buy, Jay. There is no SMGs. Everyone is on AKs or Galils.
Full rifle investment as Mythic realize they can't afford to lose anything down to a lack of weaponry here.
Definitely.
The Eagles, 5-7s, CZs on the other side of the field. Chaos forced back here on this defensive. 3 players towards B side as Mythic are leaning in towards this position over on Banana. This could get a bit more interesting.
One thing to really keep an eye out for, Jay, is the amount of smokes on this CT side. There's still 3 players for Chaos with smoke, so you've got to think if they're able to slow down the time and use those smokes really late into the round, it may mean that Mythic have to sort of panic into an execution, maybe try and push forward into one of those smokes. And getting to a minute on the clock, a fair bit of map control has come out, but really for Mythic, it's all about this default and seeing if they can find any picks, but for Chaos, no one's aggressive on this CT side.
Start having to go for aggression here towards this B-side play. The bomb being thrown out to no man's land. And no player taking face, no casualties or even damage being done at this stage. Mythic have the best stance at this moment, but Chaos finding their forces as they get baited into the rotations. Now players wrapping over towards the A site, the boost still in effect here towards B. 3v3, this is where the pistols could potentially shine, but KT shuts down Rath. Link falls to Flom, and Zephyr's dealt with by KT all the same. So efficient, coordinated hit in towards the B site, but if they had found a turnaround, a kill, or some sort of way to break that defensive, or that offensive I should be saying, Mythic would have had no time to recover it. So a bit of a risky move there going in last second, but fortunately it does work out.
Yeah, look, I tell you what, Mythic did a really good job of establishing some great crossfires on the execution to B. And we saw Chaos having a triple man setup and 2 players in CT that were trying to work off one another. And Vanity can't find anything on the exit either, so a very good round. Probably the most convincing round we've seen from Mythic this entire map, Jay.
Yeah, 5 to the T-side board. I did say that it was statistically their better half, so, you know, seeing them coming up here and getting a good start here on the T side means that they're going to be able to kick things off in the second half with an opportunity for a comeback. You know, only so much breathing room here, but there's still 4 rounds for Chaos to go. And when they get those rifles out, that's when they're going to start to close that gap. For now, Mythic about to get within 6 of the lead. Well, Zeus is in on Jonji and Vanity, interestingly enough. One player in the apartments, the other held out towards the long control around the corner. As Flom takes damage early on. 37 HP. Nades on towards the banana control. Mythic will start to take that up. But again, Chaos going passive with pistols.
And you can already see we've only seen a handful of rounds, Jay, going into the second half, but Mythic have got a much more of a slower default kind of style of play on the T side rather than that hyper aggression that we saw from Chaos. So 2 very different styles of play. You can see Mythic taking this early control out towards the top of Banana. Now, there are a big amount of players on this B bomb side. There's 4 CTs here.
Ash is on, and Dren going to take some damage. Bomb getting tagged up as well here. Mythic being a bit scared about this. Do they think the Chaos are forced to buy? I mean,
they're going to run into the stack. There's no way they're going. It's too low.
Yeah, they've got to go in for this one. 30 seconds and 4 players standing by. If Chaos wins off the back of the eco, I'll be stunned. The Zeus set and ready for one good kill. P250 taking their first contact out of the flower pot. Boost Case deals with Rough. Davey comes up with 1 Zephyr with 2 USP kills, but Davey trades back on him. And a 3-on-2 scenario. Plant can be secured. It will pop it. Oh! Vanity at the last second gets it, but I think they've just got enough time for the plant. They're going to pick it up. Jonji's stalling for time. Got to face in the player out in the open. Dren will just about get that frag. But last second plays from Chaos, damn near won them the 13th.
Oh, that was too close. That was way too close. And for Mythic, they had no lurk out to the A bomb site. So you saw with sort of 30 seconds on the clock, it had to be a play into B. They just didn't have that map control. They didn't have that lurk play. And they ran into a very light stack. Yeah, there were 4 players, but there weren't a lot of upgrades. And we saw the Zeuses and just USPs. So the way that Chaos get away with 3 kills, that's fantastic. And going into the opening gun round, though, of the second half, you've got to think this is really the opportunity that Chaos can put some hurt up onto the board, trying to take this banana control. And for Mythic, they're almost giving them banana. They're not really contesting this.
Close Zephyr's going to get, will get shut down by Katie over on the B site play. Wrath ready for anything towards the apartments as nades start coming in. Oh, Leaf and Vanity. Tagged up so heavily. Leaf will burn to a Molotov, but he does get Flom on the way back out at least. But even so, a 4-on-3 scenario, Mythic have worked into this B site pretty effectively so far. And with a man and HP advantage, it means that Vanity is going to be a little bit worse for wear on this defensive to B site. He has backup at least for Jonji, but going to need a whole lot more against 4 hungry T side players.
And they're just going to gamble stack B. This is a good read coming out from Chaos, rotating Wrath over from CT. And Mythic, though, you've got to think they've got a big advantage, Jay. Not only do they have that 4-on-3, but Vanity's incredibly low. No more utility left on this CT side. Mythic going in once again to this B side execution. And the kills are going in favor of the CT side. The trade's coming out. Vanity with a spray is able to get 2 kills in the end to find the 13th. And for Mythic, even with the man advantage, even with no utility on that CT side, they weren't able to trade out evenly.
13th to the CT camp. Chaos with a defensive that felt pretty simple against Mythic's push forward. It felt like they sort of had a brain fart when the hit came through. And yeah, it is getting worse on that on those GG bet odds. I mean, how high can you realistically go there for a money line? I mean, I've never seen anything higher than like 10. So seeing this come through shows how dominant Chaos really are. And they're leading by a number of 7 rounds. Only 3 to go before they win the map out right here. Mythic leaning in towards the B site again. Much more defined on their play.
Yeah, you've got to think this is probably their last chance because they lose this, they're going to get eco'd. Another B site execution. This time around, though, it's a lot quicker and the entrants are coming through at least for Flom, but Zephyr on the side's doing damage and there's still a player out towards the coffins. 2 versus 2. It now comes down to the A players on rotation.
Bomb plant in the back lines behind the fountain. You've got Pollen facing in for a 3K. Gets rough. Now looking for Jonji next up for the Quadra. And Mythic will win a 7th, an all-important one again. Every single round is all-important, so I keep saying it's pretty redundant in this stage. But either way, that one rested quite down to the wire. Zeppa with the spray transfer and the third player back over towards Coffins. If they were able to just keep their position for a little extra length of time, then that probably would have been Chaos winning the round.
And you actually look at the economy in that last round from both teams, that whoever was going to win it was going to reset one another. So for Chaos, yeah, they're upgrading a little bit, not a massive amount. You've got an SMG onto Wrath, some upgraded pistols here or there for the rest of them. But Mythic, certainly, Jay, again, like we're only really early into this T-side half, but it's looking so much more competitive already for Mythic. An opportunity to really start to close this gap. And they've been able to put 4 rounds up onto the T side. You would expect this to be a follow-up to be a 5th.
AK is up. Smoke on. One player in that flower corner, the flower bed. They're going to leave this. Instead of the scenes out of Jonji pressing him towards the apartments. Vanity gets a kill. Oh no! The crossfire of pistols have done the damage. 3 picks traded back by 1. And a 4-on-2. They got rifles they can pick up, but they're just going to go passive. Wait for even more Mythic extensions.
Oh my goodness. And look, for Chaos, they're in just such a great position. Mythic, they just need to be making sure they're working together. Moto Smoke coming down for a Dren gives the idea there's going to be an A-bomb site hit. But for the CTs, the A players, they're starting to get aggressive in the apartments.
Oh, he's landed the headshot as well. Quick peek in on Pollen. Dren left alone. The SMG of Wrath is all they need to close it. That is a round that they should not have won, Chaos. But how P2Ks and CZs were able to do that much, 2 players in the mid position, destroyed the whole round of Mythic.
And they have to force now on the T side. There is no money for them to eco to buy up into the next. Oh, that sucks. That really hurts because you had to think that that was probably one of the easiest rounds they'd been up against in the second half, Jay. There really wasn't too much of an investment at all. But like you said, the crossfires being set, they found that 4-on-3 after pushing through the smokes, through the utility from that T side, falling back, re-aggressing in through the apartments. And it hurts to see because for Mythic, you know, we saw some really nice gun rounds for them. We started to see them bring this game back. And now after losing a round like that could be their goodbye wish. They could be done right here now, Jay.
That's crippling as well after that clutch from Pollen in the round before. 14-7. Mythic. Oh, this buy is so awkward. Mac 10 for Flom. 3 Deagles with a CZ. I don't know, man. I feel like this is going to be a one and done. Like, just 2 more rounds for Chaos. That's all they need. And in theory, one should just get given up right here. I mean, unless Mythic pull off a miracle, the Eagle headshots, they're possible, but I'm not counting them on them for this round, you know?
No, well, at least the Dren's been able to pick up an M4, but it's the players on the side that haven't been able to find those entries. They need to try and force Wrath out from the graveyard position, and the Molly will do the job. A Dren gonna try and sandwich in the pit player of Vanity. He needs help, and his teammates can't really assist him. He's alone at A.
AWP backed up, sprays through the M4. Vanity taking damage, does end up falling down, so at least they've got this to a 2 versus 2. M4 and Dren, as you mentioned, AWP picked up by Flom, but the bomb's on his back. Oh, Smoke's coming up. He's got to watch out that short control. 2 players coming in from that angle, 1 from the apps and 1 from short itself. The AWP watching, making a fair amount of noise, scoped up. Now going for a back wall plant, back corner plant. That's smart, that's covered, that's suppressed. That means they cannot concede towards a peek in from the short angle. And Leaf will fall. Zeppa next up, dealt with a Dren 1-on-1 now against the AWP. Shoulder baiting to try force the Orb to make a mistake. Facing in, continuing to try force it out. Molotov will force from the way he's burning. 60 HP gets out of dodge, and Zeppa has the info to know where he's at. Smoke down, not even required actually. We'll go ahead and grab the big green gun and get the defuse in from that point for Chaos.
Yeah, look, difficult clutch there coming out from Flom. As soon as that molly came through, he had to try and press forward, and Zeppa just had so much information. He knew exactly where he was, trying to bait out the shots. In the end, just decides to go for the wide swing. Now, the bomb plan is going to help the buy a little bit, a tad, not a fantastic amount, but look, for Mythic, they needed to win that last round. They won't be able to get any rifles through. It's going to be Mac 10s, pistols again, and Chaos. They're running an XMJ. We've seen a couple of shotguns, but not the XM, I don't want to say.
Yeah, not so far. Correct you about the rifles thing as well. Dren's gone with an AK Kevlar, no utility though.
Oh, he has.
Got to do a lot of work here for this T site to try and bring it back. And at least again, they've started things off with a spray through. Flom, the opening kill, traded back by Rafters, turn it to a 4-on-4. Damage being sustained by the T-Split for the moment. They have not yet gained an advantage at this stage. They have actually found a kill back on Jonji though, so that's something as I'm speaking. Now Zeppa left towards the B site. Dren's going to take that peek in, take that kill. 2 standing now for the retake, and they have got B site access.
They've got a thing for Chaos, 2 versus 4. Do they even want to try and go for this retake? Moneyline's not looking great for the CTs. It does look as if they are setting themselves up to at least try and go for it, but look at this position coming in from Poland. If the CTs end up staying, it's going to be behind them.
CZ moves in, making a lot of noise though. Wrath will fall, Vanity left alone with the AWP, gets 1 frag, Adren will close it though. They can recover rifles, they can stay alive for the moment here on the Mythic side. And these pistol rifle rounds, these anti-ecos, these half-buys, whatever you want to call them from Mythic, they have always been down to the wire, so credit where it's due. It has actually reset Chaos. They may still buffer their way through a few more rounds.
And there's a chance to maybe at least get to double digits. You've got to think they win this, they get to 9th, it's going to be a full eco from Chaos, they get to 10. But they've got to deal with this force buy. Now, we haven't seen too much in terms of force buys, but certainly ecos have been pretty successful from this Chaos side, so don't sleep on this buy here from the Chaos side. And 4 players stacked in towards the top of Banana. Vanity's alone over A. He could get pressured.
Four CT side players, I should say, stacking in towards the Banana control, straight up and out past the wood stack. Into the cubby corner. Waiting and baiting back here. The T's are going to try baiting those players to peek in towards them, get a couple of kills, get the man advantage. Now a minute to go, and the T's leaning in towards the A site will set up their execution. 2 now stacked out towards this long control to defend against them. They've got access in from short.
Mythic are playing this really slowly, and I always think when you're up against a force buy, I'd like to, sometimes see the T's maybe have something a bit quicker, because if you really slow down the clock, it can make it very chaotic. And see Raph taking a bit of contact, doing a lot of damage onto Katie. The player down towards the bottom of Banana does get taken out to allow the man advantage, but they're still really running down the clock, Jay.
Raph getting that kill on Flom, turn to a 4-on-4. 47 HP. Flashes over the pistols again, peeking in, catching some players off guard. They actually combine on Adrenaline, do damage to Davey. Katie's also low, so player advantage for Chaos in the bomb pump. We deny the last second. They peek forward, no. Poland's going to shut it down for 1 good frag. They do enter to the site though, and Davey falls. KT with a trade, needs a secondary, but Wrath will take it down. Poland spraying back, whisks it entirely, and the pistols will clean house and clean up 16-8 for the CT side. Oh, Mythic again falling to the pistols. They got a couple of good eco rounds out of that one, but it's Chaos that win on the force by map 1 going the way of the favorites.